Happy New Year, everyone! I'm sorry I'm a bit late on this one, but Awesome Games Done Quick is very, very distracting.
Distracting enough that Yura has forgotten to share screens.
Just a moment, I'll fix that. And I gotta do it like that because this game dominates everything. So. There we go.
Huzzah! I can see!
Kind of, because this game won't let me just share it, because of the bizarre placement of things and refusal to move them. Yeah, during their Awful Games Done Quick segment, they had a game that gave me flashbacks, in the nom sense. Though not quite as... Oh yeah, I need to go right, because left is the way forward. It was Lagoon for the Super Nintendo.
And it's frankly terrible.
It is what happens when you try to make a game like the Ys series and fail in every possible regard. The point that to hit enemies a lot when you're facing upward, you have to clip them into your sprite because your sword has no vertical reach outside of your sprite. Okay, this is clearly actually a drop-off from somewhere else. Left it is! Do have the 1 point of fire resistance equipped, right? Yep. Like, if you go and watch that stream, you'll see that, you know, they always refer to things as speedrun strats and everything. I can assure you, as someone who has played and beaten the entire game, about 2/3 of the boss strats they use are what I had to figure out to get past them. These bosses are bullshit.
Bullshit difficulty. One of the best ways to extend gameplay time. Wait, did I say best? I meant tooth-grindingly horrific.
Like, there's one where you've got this boss that's a bowling ball that's rolling up and down from the top to the bottom of the screen and back and forth, and you can't hurt him until 6 crystal things are destroyed that shoot project... Ah, darn it. We gotta go back down, because I wasn't thinking. But you've got to destroy 6 crystal things that are keeping him from being able to take damage, that are shooting projectiles either directly up and down or directly left and right. You have to figure out a way you can stand so that you can hit those crystals without being in their line of fire. Or just dodge and run unendingly with bad controls. Because once the boss is vulnerable, the only way to hurt him is to trade with him by standing directly in front of him and swinging until one of you dies.
That's what we like to call fucking awful design.
Yes.
Pardon my language, by the by.
And they're all like, yeah, there's pretty much just 1 pixel where you can do this and not get hit. Yes, exactly. That boss took me several hours to beat on my first and only playthrough of that game.
Screw that noise.
Yes.
That's not fun. That's torture. And that's coming from somebody who plays Dark Souls.
Yeah, they actually had an interview with the guy who ran the game afterwards. It's like, so why did you decide to run Lagoon? And his reply was, because I hate myself. We have now gotten the only female weapon in the game. And died.
Bob. Or that.
So where does retry put me in that? Just right back where I saved.
You ever notice that swords always have names like the Rising Moon or Heron Strikes the Water? I want to know a guy with a sword called Dave. How cool would that be? You will face the wrath of Dave. Are you Dave? No, the sword's name Dave. I'm Congo. Why is your sword named Dave? What? What's wrong with Dave? It would just be a funny conversation, you know? I like Bob. Imagine a sword named Bob.
You know, there's a planet named Bob. So.
Oh yeah, it's a good name. It's a good name. You know, that movie was actually done by Don Bluth?
Yes. Did you know that Don Bluth is trying to do another movie now?
That's good.
Yes, you'll never guess what it is.
Five Nights at Freddy's?
No.
That would actually be pretty good.
But that's actually not on the wrong track.
What is it?
Dragon's Lair.
Oh!
The movie.
You know, I can see it actually being really good.
Yes. Because what did everyone want to do instead of actually playing Dragon's Lair?
Watch someone else.
Exactly. Since we have now gotten the broadsword, I think we're retreating to a save point, because while we have 1 point of fire resistance, apparently this doesn't apply to total submersion.
So, here's the question. Will the eventual DVD and Blu-ray release of this movie come with an optional mode where you have to hit buttons on the remote control, where it goes to a death cutscene instead?
Probably depending on how much money it makes theatrically if it gets made. Oh, wait, right, that's the wrong button. Okay, it's not as much as I would have gained if I had not upgraded the sword, but if I had not upgraded the sword, I would never have gotten this far.
Sword upgrades are essential, no matter how temporary they are.
And now we have entered delete all the things mode.
Although, I've never really understood, like, I kind of get why, but I kind of don't why the upgrade path is usually like, short sword, long sword, broadsword. That doesn't make any sense. Those are entirely different weapons with vastly different fighting styles and vastly different uses.
Not in this game.
Yep. It's just something that's kind of weird, you know?
We'll find out if I need to grind to beat the dragon later.
Ooh, why? Yeah, nobody ever likes birds in an RPG. Or not an RPG. Birds in RPGs, not necessarily terrible. Birds in action games are always jerks. When was the last time you were playing an action game and thought, oh sweet, birds?
When you're a speedrunner and you can face the opposite direction from them to get them to damage boost you over a ledge?
That doesn't really count, though. That's more, fuck it, I'll make these birds my own! My goddamn birds!
Speaking of birds, one of the runs on AGDQ was a Ninja Gaiden 3 pacifist run. He is only allowed to swing his sword to fight bosses. This means he can't even pick up power-ups.
That's... Ugh. Well, he's clearly skilled out the wazoo. Oh, if he succeeded anyway.
Yeah, he beat it. And I don't see how going constantly down in a volcano is going to get us out of it. There's so many places that it's clear we're going to get some sort of jump or air dash extension thing.
Pogo stick.
And up next should be the dragon. Or that's
Speaking
just
of dragons, have you seen that Dragon's Dogma is coming out on the PC?
I have. I have a friend who will not shut up about it.
Oh. It's good.
This looks like there should be a boss here.
It does. Like some kind of dragon that pops out of the holes.
Yeah. The reason I'm so sure it's a dragon is just based on my memories of the firsties, which they've been pretty much replicating.
Of note, the reason I'm so sure it's a dragon, you're in a fucking volcano. I rest my case.
Ooh, new magical attack.
Abracadabra.
Oh dear, it's a person. It's that jerk again!
Hey, ass bag. I don't know if he's actually an ass bag, but I'm assuming he is, in fact, an ass bag.
He's the boss that you fight in the he's the first boss of the game that you fight in the storage warehouse. They have upgraded him to recurring character.
Wow. Why?
I don't know, but they have.
I remember him, like, being of little to no significance to the plot in the original. Or am I remembering wrong?
You're not remembering wrong. You just kill him in the storage warehouse.
Basically, I'm evil! Blarg, I'm corpsed! And now he goes from being Yamcha'd to being a repeating villain.
Ah!
By the way, viewers, for those of you who don't know what Yamcha means and are incapable of figuring out a word based on context, I recommend watching the BBC Abridged series. For those of you who are capable of figuring out a word based on context, I recommend watching the BBC Abridged series anyway. It's quite good.
I think we need to level grind.
Good luck. You'll need it.
I mean, all those ones are not really filling me with confidence.
That's one of the interesting things about the Yeast series as a whole. One or two levels can make all the difference, and you're always expected to do at least a little bit of grinding. The game, like many other JRPGs, especially of the action variety, is balanced around at least a modest amount of grindy goodness.
So anyway.
Could be worse.
Yep.
You could have to grind like Dragon Quest.
We fortunately have what I would call a very nice place to grind here. What are these things? They can't really even do anything to me.
They're
well,
basically fodder.
They do appear to be here because the game developers realized it's just kind of hard to get out of this area. And impossible to get out as a whole. But I must thank the game developers for not filling this area with birds. I think it may be more efficient just to go back down to the bottom and go in and out of the door.
Has there ever been any game where throwing the hero into a volcano works?
It's the kind of thing that seems like it should work, though. You know?
Yeah, but... like, why? If you've got the hero in a position where you can literally be like, oh, fuck it, into the volcano you go. You know what else you can do? Stab them!
Well, to be fair, Chester may not actually want us to be dead.
Yeah. Then why'd he throw you into a fucking volcano?
Because he figured we wouldn't be killed?
Obviously,
remember, when he did it, his boss was staring directly at him.
True, but he's obviously never played this game before.
Yeah, I mean, minor spoilers, Chester is trying to play both sides. We'll see how well that goes for him.
Not very well.
So in this version of the game, Bandage Man appears to have simply gone, oh crap, you've got items. I better go poke a dragon with a stick. Though that's probably better than having to fight him again, because I hate his swords. They kind of hover at a peak just slightly under Adol's max jump height, as opposed to simply being, if you're on the ground they hit you, and if you're in the air they don't. And since they're glowy magical swords, it's hard to tell exactly where their shadow is, because their shadow is light.
That's annoying.
Yes, yes it is. Took me like 8 tries to beat him.
Fun. Wait, no, what's the other word? Ass.
It's starting to be a bit of a struggle, the level, so you should be good after one more.
That's generally how it goes. Grind until grinding is a pain in the ass, and then you should be good.
And we're not too far. Like, yeah, Lagoon, I learned even more horrible things about it from just listening to the people talk during the speedrun. Quote-unquote, speedrun. The enemies have problems with the experience they give.
Oh?
You know, like, in their Volcano segment, you've got these giant golems that take a lot of hits to kill, take next to no damage from anything, belch fireballs at you. They're worth 10 experience.
Okay.
These other things that fly at you, embed in a wall, then do absolutely nothing for 3 seconds before they despawn, and you can just kind of walk up and kill them, give 35.
Why? Hey, you okay, Vegeta? Yeah, just an aneurysm for the sheer stupidity of it all. Seriously, that's fucking stupid. That's dumb. What weren't the devs smoking? Not weren't. Because let's face it, you and I both know they were a little bit into the... Whoa!
Prior to that, enemies in the game gave like 1 or 2. And that's 3 bosses in. And this isn't a game where enemies can, if they collide with you and knock you back, continue to collide with you until you're against a wall and you die because you have no invulnerability frames. So even mere grinding with enemies that do nothing but try to walk into you can be nightmarish.
Fortunately, balance is quite possibly one of, if not the hardest parts of game design. And while most devs at least try to rise to the task, many of them unfortunately never really do. And then there's the ones who are like, fuck it, we'll patch it later if we sell enough. And then there's Ubi, who are like, fuck it, we'll patch it later if it sells enough. And then when it sells enough, why should we patch it? We already got your money.
Don't forget Batman Arkham Origins, which was not being patched because they were working on more DLC.
For it.
Yes.
That's just... You know, there are some companies that I still have faith and trust in. They're called Nintendo and From Software.
I'm not entirely sure what Nintendo's been thinking lately with a lot of stuff, but...
They're Nintendoing it up, and if I've learned anything from Nintendo, it's basically just keep calm, Nintendo on, they'll figure it out soon, and then you'll get awesome shit. Like, even Nintendo's flops, like the GameCube. You know what was fucking awesome? The GameCube!
The GameCube was a flop?
Yeah, it sold way less than the competitors, had a much narrower library, and is widely considered to be the worst-selling system Nintendo produced, not named Virtual Boy. That said, it was still freaking amazing.
I didn't know it was that poor, quote-unquote. Now I know to start walking because this is not a cinematic. And I still took damage.
Womp womp.
I'm assuming the pattern is slightly... Stop that. Okay, the ones are still ones, but that's because they're not their vulnerable points, apparently, but I'm doing about 10 more to his vulnerable point when I'm seeing numbers proc that aren't
Which means one more level and you'd probably be doing about 30 because this game's attack and defense systems are fucking weird.
Lava, you cannot jump. Okay, those pits have some weird physics in them.
Physics.
Like, it seems they're deeper in the middle.
So they're cones, basically.
Yeah.
It's weird, but not unheard of.
And I completely wasted that ultra by forgetting which button does the sword. But this is like actually in doable range now, so. Got an 85 hit combo.
Nice.
No, not lava again.
Don't you just lava it when it tries to burn you?
I may need one more level for this.
Yeah, going in this fast with this low level, you were kind of being hot-headed.
That was terrible and you need to go sit in the corner now.
You know you love it.
They were doing far too many puns during the ending of the stream. To the point that the person they were directing all the puns at, when one would come, he switched, why?
You know, there's just something to be said about terrible puns. And that something is basically,
I'm starting to get the hang of this guy, though.
You know, Shakespeare wanted to do a thing on puns. He decided against it, though. Nobody likes a play on words. Good. That one's a classic.
No, it's just time. I figured out this guy's cycle, at least until he goes into the obligatory pissy boss mode. He erupts from the lava on fire, and will Hercules collision until it goes out.
You may feel a slight burning sensation.
That sensation is your face. I'd probably need one more level just to keep up with the damage reduction pants. I don't know where the pants came from. run in this game?
I don't know.
Oh wait, right, it was an upgrade, I remember. So no, I can't run from them, it's just...
Unless you missed the permanent upgrade.
I doubt it. Huh, he's shrinking if we do this.
Because you're killing segments.
Yeah. I think this would be a good time to stop the recording, gain a level, and then go on to the next episode.
Indeed. Later, viewers.
Bye.
And remember, never floss your nipples.